Hi, good afternoon. This is Megan. How are you?
Hi, this is Amelia.
All right.
So
So,
both of us have chosen to do our discussion on our use of a technology mode in our lessons in our classroom.
all right, excellent. So, I can start first if you like. I can tell you a little bit about the mode that I have chosen. Um, that has been really wonderful, which is the use of the game site quizzes. All right,
Okay,
and then
great.
which one did you use?
I used Google Jamboard.
All right, cool. And okay, so I'm gonna tell you about my topic that I was able to cover with quizzes. All right. So the main topic that I was able to use with Form 1 students was punctuation for sentence construction and general writing. Quizzes has a few different features. So as the name suggests, quizzes, it has a game feature where you can quiz students based on their knowledge. But recently they have introduced a slideshow feature where you can actually create lesson content before
Oh,
you create the game. So it's a very interactive media.
so you have your lesson first, and then the quiz
The
is
quiz is
based
free.
on the lesson or the slideshow.
Yes,
Oh,
definitely that.
great.
So you can add a few things to the slideshow itself, and it's visually engaging. The students are able to see bold writing, they're able to see the headings. You can add in images, which would be some form of stimulus to keep them, engaged throughout the content that they need to cover.
Okay, so it's much simpler than an
And
than
then the
PowerPoint.
quiz itself that just yeah, I got a so what happened was in the game itself, you can test their knowledge of the content that they just covered. And what happens in the game itself is that they have a timer, they're able to do the questions. It's a multiple choice type questioning. And it allows the students to engage individually. It allows them to work independently as well because you can set it beforehand. And then you can also piece it together with the class where you can have a live game where everybody starts competing with each other in a kind of in a healthy way. In a healthy way.
Okay.
That's been very, very interactive. And your mode was Google Jamboard. That is still a fairly new technology mode for me. Can you tell me
Okay,
about your understanding
well,
of it?
I introduced it was a Form 3 class. I introduced them to Jamboard. I asked them if they ever used Jamboard before. It was like, no, not really, miss. So before the lesson itself, I showed them Jamboard, what it entails, and they were really excited about it.
Awesome. That
Um,
sounds good.
I sent them the link. Each
Mm-hmm.
student created their own. They had their own little board, so they were really
Mm-hmm.
excited. So for this lesson, which was an introduction to cause and effect, the cause and effect
Right.
text structure, I decided to use the Google Jamboard tool in this lesson. So the first manner in which I use the Google Jamboard is that I wanted to show the students
Mm-hmm.
when you used signal words to
Mm-hmm.
connect two sentences, the
Mm-hmm.
effect
Mm-hmm.
that it would create.
Right.
So I wanted it to be interactive with myself and the students rather than just showing them a pair of sentences
Mm-hmm.
on a slideshow and then showing the completed sentence with the signal words. So
Right.
I wrote the sentence on Google Jamboard so they are
Mm-hmm.
seeing as I am writing, and then
Correct.
I use the signal word, and they saw the creation of the
Mm-hmm.
sentence with
Right.
the signal word.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And after I was able to do that,
Mm-hmm.
I asked the students if they can now, I gave them pairs of sentences, And I asked them using the
Mm-hmm.
signal words if they can
Right.
now create cause and effect sentences with
With.
the signal words to show that cause and effect structure. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there's a feature that each student
Mm-hmm.
can be assigned a particular their own space or their own
Right.
blackboard, and they were very excited. So I
Right.
can monitor what each student is
Mm-hmm.
writing,
At
and
the
while
same
I
time.
am sharing my screen, they can
Mm-hmm.
also see what each other
What they should have.
were doing. And they were so
Right.
very excited. It was like, was your sentence? Was your sentence? What sentence you
Right.
have? What signal was you using? So they were
Right.
so
Right.
very excited about the use of Google Jamboard. And I was
Okay.
able to see that they were
Mm-hmm.
able to create the cause and effect structure using the
Mm-hmm.
signal words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like that both are very interactive. So with the quizzes itself, the students they would have preset questions and they would just have to select like a multiple choice, they would have to select the correct punctuation. So it would reinforce their knowledge of the punctuation, even though they're trying to race against time against each other.
Yeah.
So I like the ability that they really get into the technology, and even if they don't consciously remember everything about the topic, they still enjoy the experience. But somehow it's like they're building in the knowledge of the topic area for both of them.
And even after within that same lesson, I
Mm-hmm.
went on to use Google Jamboard and asking the students to create their own sentences where they
Mm-hmm.
use their same space,
Mm-hmm.
and they were able to create their own sentences showing the cause and effect structure. So through Google Jamboard, I was able to see that the students understood
Mm-hmm.
how to create the cause and effect structure, and they were able to maneuver and manipulate the use of Google Jamboard, because as soon as they got the link that I sent
Mm-hmm.
them, like a
They
few
would
seconds
immediately.
after I saw them. And another feature of Google Jamboard is that you can see the students who are logged on and who is doing
At the
what.
same time. Yes, yes, because this has the same feature, um, because it's real time, and also I find it's very user friendly.
Yes.
Especially with you're able to see the instruction buttons, and it's easy to navigate. It's easy to follow the different aspects of the site, as well as it's easy to see. It's easy to create the assessment. It's easy to create the lesson. It's easy to create the assessment, so that students would be able to know the punctuation rules. They can check back on the slides. They can check back with the rules if they feel like they're falling behind, and then they could repeat the quiz itself. So I find the user friendliness is very good.
And I like the interactiveness of Google Jamboard, and the students definitely enjoys using Google Jamboard because they have their own little
Mhm.
space. They know that their teacher can monitor them, and
Yes.
it clearly shows you are able to see if the students are understanding, or they if they are grasping, because you can see
Mm-hmm.
who is pausing, who is taking a while to
Mm-hmm.
give their
Mm-hmm.
responses, who is quickly responding.
Right. And also you're able to detect if the students are connected as well, because sometimes you can see the student is there, you can see while they're interacting. And if they become stagnant, you can tell if there is a connectivity problem with our students. Sometimes they may have to rejoin and all of that. But the ability to keep um, a good management of the students in this space is very present.
Yes. So our use of Google Jamboard
Mm-hmm.
and quizzes
Mm-hmm.
is quite interactive for our
Right.
students.
Mm-hmm.
We are able to monitor their
Right.
progress
Yes, definitely.
on
And it's
both
very
platforms.
user friendly.
Yes.
All right. And also, the visual aspect, we're able to add good stimuli to either technology mode.
Yes, because both the student at the same time on both platforms, the teacher and students can be interactive at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excellent. All right. So this has been an interesting discussion on our technology modes.
I hope you all enjoyed our discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.